Okay.
Good morning, students. So, in the inorganic synthesis laboratory, last two classes we have talked about how to prepare base ligands and then how to prepare nickel basis base ligand we are discussing about. So, today we will be talking about one of the important ligand which is play a vital role in the biological systems. So, you all familiar about that ligand. That is nothing but what we are talking about is we are talking about a perforin. So the perforin, there is the perforin system. So the perforin is one of the important ligand in biological systems. It has been extensively used in a variety of applications, even the enzymatic catalysts also. So, and it has played a major role in the oxygen carrier as well as what we call as the oxygen transport property is used. So that we will be discussing in the your bioinorganic course in the course due course. Okay, and then the perforin molecule also involved in the photosynthesis. One of the major applications in the perforin molecule is photosynthesis. So besides that, this perforin molecule have the important applications. You know that when the perforin have the, this is a perforin molecule, so you can see that it is a derived from the pyrrole, and when the benzol, pyrrole and benzol when in presence of acid, when you treat it, you will get a macrocyclic. So what do you mean by macrocyclic? So macrocyclic is any kind of cyclic ligand in which at least number of cyclic atoms which decide a cycle should be 9 members. It should be 9-member cycle. Then only it is a macrocyclic and should have the minimum 3 to 4 donor atoms. So here in the perforin molecule you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4 donor atoms are there. These 4 donor atoms are there. So and you have the cyclic ring. So it is called as a macrocyclic. So the last few classes we have been discussing about organometallic complexes in the theory. So what I am going to do is whatever the inorganic synthesis is, it is somewhat relevant to the whatever we are studying in the theoretical aspects. So that's why I thought of this class we will demonstrate to you how to prepare the tetraphenyl perforin molecules, which normally we used to do in our research laboratory. So it is one of the potential ligand where the metal can be encapsulated or metal can be coordinated in the center of the perforin moiety, and then 5th and 6th coordinator can be either some solvent molecules or water molecule or any kind of ligands, where the 6th position or 7th position, 6th position can be used for the what I call as the coordination of any reactant molecules which will be used for the catalytic purpose. That's what we are doing. In the biologically, same way the perforin molecule have the macrocyclic. The 5th position is the histidine ligands, it's coordinated, and 6th position is the what I call as the oxygen carrier. So this is what how normally in biologically we used to represent. It is like mostly in the iron. So you will have the iron will be in the hexacoordinated. So 5th coordination will be histidine ligand, nitrogen for the histidine ligand, and then 6th coordination where you will have the oxygen will be carrier, or it can be used as a transport. So it is one of the most important ligand which is used in the bioinorganic aspects or enzymatic aspects. So we will this class we will talk about how we can prepare this derivative, that is not a perforin we are preparing, we are going to prepare a tetraphenyl perforin, and this tetraphenyl perforin is relatively stable, it is relatively less sensitive with air, and my research colleague Ms. Anjali, she used to prepare, and we have prepared a lot of this kind of complex and published a lot of work. So we will be demonstrating how it will be prepared. So now we will talk about how it will be prepared, then we will share with the FTIR and the proton NMR of this complex. Then you have to interpret. Your assignment will be, it will be loaded in the portal, and you have to interpret the IR and your FTIR and your what you call as the NMR should be loaded. Then we will talk about after this preparing TPP ligand, we will treat with the metal, that may be in the next week. We will treat with some metal salt, and we can get a metallo macromolecules, that is metallo tetraphenyl perforin we can prepare. That also we will show you, we will demonstrate in the lab, and you have to interpret with the help of the what I call as with the help of IR and NMR. And another important aspect of this perforin molecule is it has a conjugation. The perforin molecule have a conjugation. See, there are 2 types of ring. One is you consider internal ring. That is see, if you don't consider the pyrrole unit, there is an internal ring you consider. These are the internal ring. There is internal ring. This also have a conjugation, alternative double bond, and also you can consider the outside ring also if you take it. That is also will have conjugation. That is the interesting properties of this perforin. It is a highly conjugated system, and it is a 18 electron system. So it is a relatively good stable system for the any kind of metal ions incorporation and application. Then now coming to the point preparation, how we can prepare. So we have to prepare with the help of the pyrrole, which should be free from the impurity. You have to distill, because if you don't purify it, then you can get a polypyrrole in it will come, then it will be interfere the molecules formation. So you should have the purely distilled pyrrole should have. Then you will have the what you call as the electrophilic compound. It should be benzaldehyde. So we can take benzaldehyde or any other aldehyde. Then what is the aldehyde group you are taking? Accordingly, you will have the substitution at mesocarbon. This is called as a mesocarbon. So mesocarbon will have the substitution. So normally it will be carried out in presence of acid. Normally what we used to do is we use a propionic acid. Propionic acid is a mild acid which can protonate the aldehyde, and then once it's protonated, the electrophilicity of this aldehyde is going to be enriched, so it can easily attack the pyrrole and form these molecules. I will share the literature which I got from my students. I will share you. And you can refer our own paper also, how it is a mechanism aspect also. We will share with you the documents. So when protonated, then subsequently electrophilic attack on pyrrole, and you will get a what you call also tetraphenyl furfurin unit. And this tetraphenyl furfurin unit is a purple crystals. It is very beautiful purple crystal. We could see the single crystal also. So I will share the documents also with you for your information. But your point is you should understand what are the functional group present with the help of FTL, and then how we can interpret the proton NMR. That's what in the ligand how you are going to interpret, that we will discuss in this class. The next class we will talk about when we introduce the metal center, how the electronic properties changes. For example, when you have the purpurine, there is a conjugation, is that means it will show the electronic spectra, that is UV visible spectra it will show. But when you put a metal ions, what is the changes occur, that we will discuss in the next class, not in this class. This class we will be only talking about proton number and functional group present in that, and how we prepare that will I demonstrate and upload the video in your portal. Okay, so go through it, and references I will give the reference in the documents. It is our own paper, some of our own paper recent years. We have published a lot of paper on preparation of this one. I will share the synthesis procedure and things. Then we will see how it is prepared in the laboratory. Okay, thank you. So good morning. So we have discussed about a tetraphenyl furfurin synthesis. So today just now we are going to demonstrate. So here the starting component like a pyrrole. So this is a pyrrole. It should be in brown bottle. So for the purpose of taking small quantity, we have transferred to conical flask and kept it in. And here is the benzaldehyde, which is also need to be kept in brown bottle. That's why we wrapped under nitrogen atmosphere, kept it. And then the solvent which we are going to use is a propionic acid. So it's a mild acid as well as it's going to act as a solvent. As I mentioned in the class, the benzaldehyde need to be protonated so that it will become a strong electrophile, and it will attack the pyrrole and give the tetraphenyl furfurin. So here is all the precursor we have, and this is this one. Yeah, here it is a 2-neck RB flask where we are going to start we are going to add a initial step. So here our research scholars Anjali will help us to add it. Okay. So proceed. First, propionic acid you need to be taken.
100 ml.
So 100 ml of propionic acid first need to be taken, because first the benzaldehyde need to react with the acid, that is a mild acid, and it will become the protonated the benzaldehyde form the carbocations, which is more electrophilic in characters, so that it can easily attack the what is called as your pyrrole. So taken already, we have taken propionic acid already. Now she is adding a what is called a benzaldehyde. 3 ml of benzaldehyde it will be taken.
One more and I have to take.
So next, she has already added propionic acid, and she also added what I call as a benzaldehyde also she has introduced. So now benzaldehyde and propionic acid introduced both together in the mixer RB flask. So now the benzaldehyde will be protonated already by this time. Now she will be introducing the pyrrole. So pyrrole she will be introducing.
They want to see
Huh?
pyrrole, they want to see
Huh?
colorless thing.
Yeah. See the pyrrole, you can see that this is a colorless after distilling and purifying. Normally if you see in the bottle it will be yellowish color. So it is important to freshly prepare, freshly distilled pyrrole we need to have it. Otherwise you will get a mostly polypyrrole which is not used. Okay. So here is a completely distilled pyrrole. Okay. So it is just nitrogen is flowing. First she make the nitrogen atmosphere of the syringe, then they will be taking the pyrrole in the syringe. Yes, we have to avoid maximum extent of air. So we also talk about the organometallic complex, cyclopentadienyl complexes. So the cyclopentadienyl complex also the similar way it should be prepared, but they are more sensitive. But here also it is sensitive, but if when you prepare freshly prepared, it is relatively okay. Hmm? 0.5 ml. Okay.
1.9 we have to add.
You can remove the septum and for temporarily you can do it, no? Immediately you can do it, no? Or it will go. No, here. Take it out. Here you can remove it, no? Because we can. Because anyway, next time when you need to prepare, you have to redistill. So for the timingly, we can remove immediately and add it into the reaction mixer. Yeah, you can see the color changes as soon as you add the pyrrole. It was colorless in the beginning, it became yellowish color. So the reaction will proceed for 2 hours, then you will get a brownish color solid product you will get it. Then after purification it will be purple color.
Yes,
Okay.
after by filtration we will remove the solvent.
So you can see the change of colors. Porphyrin crystal.
Yes.
So here the earlier we have whatever we have prepared tetraphenyl porphyrin complex. You can see that even you can see the very nice crystal. You can see that we could be able to isolate single crystal, and we also reported. So we have prepared a couple of rhodium, ruthenium, iridium based porphyrin complex. This complex has been prepared and reported. So here is one of the pure phenyl porphyrin complex. Porphyrin ligand, macrocyclic ligand. You can see the crystals. Okay.
In paper,
Yeah.
in paper.
Fine. So this will proceed for 2 hours. Then after that we will work it out and we will share you the detailed procedure. Okay. So you may record in your records, and it should be the IR and NMR data we will share with you. You should to interpret. Okay. Fine.